what do you do this weekend?
Let's see. I bathed in Arctic mountain water while my Latin lover recited verse to me.
He's fun.
I know. Actually, I waited for my refrigerator repairman who never came. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna call you later.
Okay.
The ice, Jace. She moves like a woman. I'm Walter. Mitty.
Cheryl. Melhoff. Where have you been?
Testing the limits of the human spirit.
I'd like to climb your hair, test that out.
Perhaps I can contact you, possibly through my poetry balcon.
Poetry Falcon. I like that.
Ben Stiller, it is such an honor to be in your company today. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you.
And we always say, congratulations on the movie, but I really mean it this time. This was just so enjoyable, and for me, one of my personal favorites of the whole year.
Really? Wow,
yeah,
thank you.
Really, I mean it. Obviously such a fantastic story and based on the very popular short. So what was it for you that really drew you back to this 75-year-old small little story?
Well, I mean, the story, I think, sort of has a life because it's, it really hit a nerve in terms of, it's a human thing to daydream, to have this idea in our heads of how we see ourselves that doesn't really translate to reality, and the potential that we have inside of ourselves. And that, to me, was what I really connected with in the story, the idea of a guy sort of trying to find himself, on this journey that he goes on.
And did you find a fair few similarities between your own experience and that of Walter Mitty?
Well, making the movie was sort of like that because we were sort of having this adventure going out and doing the movie and going to these places and doing something for me that, as a director I hadn't really done before, in situations and sequences and all that. So that was, it was a wonderful experience because it did sort of parallel that as we were making it.
And to go through all those rewrites of the script and to have really fought for the role of director and of course star in it yourself, when you finally see it on the big screen, are you just really proud, or are you still kind of nitpicking, or how do you find it?
There's always things you look at and you go, I wish we got that better, or this, but then there are other moments I go, wow, that really, that came out pretty good. And it's hard to have any perspective on it though when you've been working on something so long.
Because you're so in it.
Yeah, I think you have to wait years, really.
Oh, okay.
When you look at a movie that you made 5-10 years later, it really, then can you look at it sort of, without any sort of, anything else.
Be so critical.
Yeah.
So would it be fair to say these days that your heart really does now lie behind the camera, or are you still quite torn between the two?
No, I've always wanted to direct since I was a kid, since I was about 10 years old. So for me, it's always been there. I love acting also, and but I do definitely, making this movie made me want to direct more, and
Brilliant. Yeah. I can't not ask you about all this talk of the Zoolander sequel. Is it something that you're strongly considering?
I am. It's just a matter of trying to figure out how to do it in the right way, and I want to make sure that the movie would live up to what people would want it to be.
And you'd have to come up with a whole new look for Derek Zoolander.
Yes, well, that's the hardest thing. It's really the amount of time developing the look.
Yeah. Obviously, Anchorman is just going to come out now in the next few weeks for us in Ireland anyway. So I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on sequels to movies that were such a huge hit the first time round. Is it something that you think is worth doing, taking the risk on?
Sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. I think there's always, people always want a sequel. I find that people always want a sequel until sometimes they get the sequel and they're like, oh, it's a lot to live up to, especially movies that are Zoolander was a while ago. So it's a tough one. I don't want to deprive the people who want it of one.
And we do.
And it would be fun to do. It's just it's just a matter of wanting to make sure you could make something you feel could live up to the first.
Absolutely. And even though it is quite a while ago since Zoolander hit our screens, I mean, do you still find that you're walking down the street and people are still asking you to pull Blue Steel, that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's the other thing that's kind of amazing to me, really, because when the movie came out, it didn't really make a lot of money, and it was
But it got such like a cult following.
It did
almost.
Over the years, which is it's pretty funny to still years later for people to still be talking about it. I get almost like so many interviews people ask me about it. I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool.
I know. It's great to be, considered for something that people just associate with such a great character, and also appreciate that you've gone on to do such amazing things like this after. It's so well-rounded. So do you feel quite satisfied in your career now at this point?
Yes, I'm retiring.
Oh no, you can't.
No, not at all. I mean, I do feel very fortunate to, be doing what I love doing, and every time you're working on something, what you're working on in the moment is what you invest yourself in the most. So it almost, if you can feel good about what you're doing in the moment, then for me, it allows me to sort of like, you know, be able to sort of look back at stuff every once in a while. I just actually got to watch Zoolander with an audience recently.
Oh, wow, how was
and that
that?
was good. I hadn't watched it in, 11 years.
And
with
do
an
you laugh
audience.
yourself?
I laugh at, I laugh at Will Ferrell, I laugh at
Yeah.
Owen, and sometimes there's moments, that I'll go, oh, that's kind of funny. But it's not, the great thing was though to be able to see how, that many years later, jokes that still work,
Yeah, still
and what sort of survives the test of time. So it's interesting.
Well, Ben, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations. It really is an amazing movie.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll get you over to Ireland soon.
I would
maybe
love
for your
to.
next
I might
project.
come to visit
Just come
with
for
the family.
holiday. Yeah, the
I-
Guinness, everything. The
Thinking
scenery.
about that maybe this summer.
Do.
Yes.
Brilliant. Well,
Bring the
we'll show you a
kids.
good time.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Kom maar, in de bil. Elkos.
What's going on? Where is everybody?
Elkos. Kom maar, Elkos.
Elgos.
Ja.
Elgos.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Erection.
Erection?
Erection.
Erection?
Yes, no. Eruption.
Eruption.
Yes.